Hey guys, and welcome to the... what month are we in? May. Welcome to the May reading vlog. Endgame. The things that I'm about to say are going to be spoilery, so if you haven't seen it yet, skip ahead to the next clip. I'd like to preface this all with, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really want to watch it again. However, I did have some issues, which I'm not going to share with you. My first issue is massive, important funeral for Tony. It was like so in depth and like a full 10 minutes of screen time, and it was like everyone was crying and everyone was there. Even Nick showed up. It was like really intense and full. And then nah. What happened with that? like Hulk threw a bench into a lake. That was it. Should have had a bit where it turned out that it was a dual funeral, or even a funeral for her. Any kind of funeral or memorial would have been great, but it just didn't happen. Totally messed up the timelines here. And I realised that partly it doesn't matter that much because now the Phase 3's over, it's not majorly important. However, it's going to majorly mess with everything that happens from now on. When is Black Widow's movies going to be set? Because we know she dies in Endgame. Just connotations for all these other movies. For example, Thor takes his hammer back. That means there is a long period of time where Thor should have his hammer and then now doesn't, because he took it. And I realised that they cover this whole thing about they kind of negate the grandfather paradox at one point. They're like, oh well, it's still always going to be your future and always going to be your past because time works on a linear line and whatever, that's fine. But there is only one hammer. We all know that there is one hammer. And now they can do whatever they want. The Marvel Universe can do whatever they like because Steve was tasked with returning the stones, but it doesn't tell you if he returned the stones or not. So we don't know if those realities were placed back in the right place. We don't know what happened with those realities, which means that the Marvel Universe can do whatever they want. They have an infinite number of different realities that they can now play with. And when people are like, oh no, that doesn't work, you can just say, oh, it's because of this whole time travel thing and the Infinity Stones. So they can now go back in time and change whatever they like to fit the story of the upcoming movies, because we don't know if Steve returned the stones or not. I think that's everything I want to say. I did enjoy it though. I watched the Globe Up final, and I'm also gonna rant about this. Sorry guys. What the hell was that judging? We all knew when it came to the final three who was gonna win, because he was by far the best. However, why the hell was Nikki there? I felt so sorry for her. It was embarrassing because she's great. She was really good, but she was not on the level of the other artists that were there. And I felt really sorry for her because I was like, this is embarrassing. I didn't like the fact that everything was weighted on the face-off at the end, because I don't know, it just seemed it should have looked at their performance in the whole episode and the whole series as a whole, and then you knock off the weakest one each time. And except what happened was Nikki was underperforming consistently for weeks and weeks and weeks, would then get into the face-off at the end, and then would win the face-off and then get through. And then all these better artists that did not deserve to be out were getting kicked off because she was just the face-off assassin, as they called it. I yesterday watched the whole series of Ghosts, and it was fantastic. If you guys don't know what it is, it's a TV show that's just finished airing on BBC One, I think it's one of the BBC's, by the cast of Horrible Histories, about a woman who inherits a house that has a bunch of ghosts in it, and she gets, in this is the first episode, this is not a spoiler, she hits her head, I won't tell you how, and all of a sudden she can see these ghosts, and it is fantastic. It's a comedy, a comedy sitcom, and all of the characters in it are amazing. I was thinking when I was watching it, trying to work out which one my favourite one was, and I couldn't work it out, and all of them were great, and I love it so much. And I watched the whole season yesterday, which was a mistake because now I have to wait a whole year for the next one. I started watching American Gods. I'm halfway through the second episode. So far it's weird. I much prefer plot-based stuff to character-based stuff, and so far I have no idea what's going on. Like, the plot is so weird and random and disconnected that I currently have no idea what's going on, so it's very, very hard for me to get into it because I don't massively care about characters. I much prefer plot. So I'm giving it a chance though, because I think it has a lot of potential. I have a lot of unanswered questions I want answering. Hopefully they will get answered. If they don't, I would have watched all of this for nothing. So Carla came out for a few days. She left a couple of hours ago, but we watched 1.5 movies and I thought I'd give you my opinions on them. The first one was Dumpling. Fantastic concept. Very 2D characters, like very 2D, like very unrealistic. Not great. Like 3 out of 10, and all those 3s were for the drag queen. There was like a lesbian character who, like, it was weird. She was like it was weird. And then we started watching Dreamcatcher and then we never finished it, but I guess she's gone home now, so I guess we won't finish that. And it was weird. It's based on a Stephen King novel, and yeah, it was really, really weird. It was not what I was expecting. There was like farty exploding people and a big weird alien, and then all of a sudden it went very alien, like went from like sort of creepy thriller to like very, very alien very quickly. It was weird. Finished reading A Scanner Darkly. I have it up here. I should get it. I did not massively enjoy it. Read Androids. It's better. Sticking with the sci-fi streak, and I'm now reading Artemis by Andy Weir, who also wrote The Martian. I'm only 16 pages in, so I can't really comment on it yet, but so far I am liking the main character, and I'm liking the idea. I finished Artemis this morning. I was going to say last night, but I didn't. I finished it this morning. I really, really enjoyed the ending. It was a bit... The pacing was a little bit weird, because all of a sudden it went like quite slow. You're getting slowly introduced to these ideas, and then after like 50 or so pages it was like boom, everything happens at once. And it's not that I didn't like that, because the suspense building was good, and everything was explained in depth and you knew exactly what was going on and everything, so the world was very vivid and very real. And I enjoyed that because, you could really get into it, you could really slowly start to learn about this world and you really understand it, but then that was still happening when everything was really fast paced at the end, which meant that there was like all this action going on and suspense and oh my god, what are they going to do, how are they going to react to this, how are they going to react to that, and then in the middle there'd be this massive long technical explanation of how something works, and I just skipped over it. Like, I just skipped over all of them because at this point I didn't care about that bit. The world had already been established for me. The bit that I cared about was the characters and what happened, because it's a story. It was good. I would recommend it if you like sci-fi, and especially if you like really in-depth worlds. See, I'm definitely more of a world and story person than a character person, so this is definitely the type of thing that appeals to me. I think I will probably read The Martian if I get my hands on it, because I enjoyed this. And after that I did an Instagram poll, and it turns out that it was between this one and When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher. And When the Curtain Falls actually won, but when I checked it to pick up the book, this one was winning. So I'm reading this one, sorry guys. And I'm actually a good chunk of the way through. I'm 84 pages in. So far, it's kind of exactly what I expected. Kind of cool monstery vibes and very supernatural vibes. So far it's been very female supernatural, but a little bit young. Finished reading Odd and True by Kat Winters. It was very interesting, though there is a major spoiler on the front and the back. So basically the concept of this is that there is like these two sisters who kind of like delve into the supernatural and whatever, but it's kind of ambiguous as to whether or not the supernatural stuff is like all made up in their head, or if it's real, or if it's just like stories that they told themselves to hide themselves from that like really bad Victorian sad life. But then on the front it says not all monsters have fangs and claws, which to me immediately implies that none of it's real, and that's kind of like the mystery all the way through. And then at the back it says despite their dark past and ordinary appearances, might indeed have magic after all. So the back says that it is magic. And no, this is an arc. Maybe that's something that they cleared up in the real version, but there is confusion between them two, and both of them are spoilers, even though they spoil it differently. But yeah, apart from that, it was a fun read. If you are maybe a little bit younger or a little bit more into YA or want a simple read that's kind of spooky and supernaturally, I would recommend. Started reading When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I'm not massively loving her writing. She writes as she speaks, to be honest, and I think the writing again is maybe a little bit too young for me. But yeah, it's very contemporary. I was hoping for a little bit more of the ghosty theme, but so far not so much. But we'll give it a chance. I am only 77 pages in. I listened to Handmaid's Tale on audiobook. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I liked that it was pretty short. I really enjoyed the world more than I enjoyed the characters, like the plot of the book. And I'd like to know a little bit more about the world itself. Very, very, very much enjoyed the scene at the chapter right at the very end where it was being like researched, like historically, like historical notes, and it was like a fake conference where like this was all, the events were all in the past, and it was about like them sort of discussing it, like sort of from like an archaeological point of view, and that was really interesting. Is there any more to that series? Is it a series? Is there anything else coming out? Is there anything else by Margaret Atwood? It is Margaret Atwood, isn't it? I think it is. Is there anything else by her that's similar or set in the same universe that you guys think I should listen to? Because I enjoyed it and I'd like to know a little bit more about that universe. Started listening to the #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. It's not actually an exact reading of the book. It's a BBC adaptation that they've changed. And yeah, it's okay. I quite like that they're fun little stories. It's not, yeah, it's alright. I finished listening to the #1 Ladies Detective Agency. Also, shout out to York, #Roses Are White. Yeah, I was okay. I wasn't really excited about it. I didn't massively enjoy it. It was okay. It was something to listen to. But I've now got Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zuzak to listen to, and I'm looking forward to listening to that. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a bit better. I don't know, we'll see. I gave up on listening to Bridge of Clay. I didn't really like it. I struggled to get into it. I was pretty excited to listen to it after I kind of enjoyed The Book Thief, but I ended up listening to the first half an hour like 10 times, and I thought, oh, do you know what, it's fine, we'll just power through it and maybe it'll make more sense later on. But I just wasn't following it very well, and I think I would have better if I'd read it, but I just didn't really like it in audiobook format. So I started listening to Stardust by Neil Gaiman instead, and I listened to all of that and I really, really, really enjoyed it. I'm currently waiting to listen to Norse mythology again, which I get that on the 21st, so I've got a little bit of time to wait. And in the meantime, I've been listening to some Night Vale. I'm up to episode 65. It's kind of difficult to listen to because I know what happens, and I used to listen to so much of it out of order that it's all getting scrabbled in my brain, like things will happen and I'm like, oh, is this the first time this has happened, or has this happened before? Or like a character will come on and I'm like, oh, is this the first time we're meeting this character, or do we know this character a lot? And I'm just, the timeline's just really messed up in my head, but hopefully once I'm all caught up, that should not be an issue anymore. I started listening to The Pearl Thief. I can't remember who it was by, and I can't tell you because I got rid of the audiobook because I listened to the first 20 minutes, and then I got access to Norse mythology by Neil Gaiman, and we all know that I've been waiting for that for a while, and that's what I wanted to listen to. So I'm back to re-listening to that. Currently I'm still catching up to where I was before I lost it. And I'm really enjoying it. It's really good fun, and it still is good listening to it again, even though I know what happens. I've literally just finished watching this video called My Cosmetic Surgery by Anna Akana. This isn't the video, this is an advert, and it is absolutely fantastic. The message behind it I really support, and also all the puns are fantastic. If you just want like a quick couple minute video, it's 1 minute 59 that'll make you laugh and also be like, yeah, feminism, would recommend. I've been watching this YouTube series called The Potter's House by a guy called Curiosity Incorporated, and it is really cool, and if you're into like hoarding programs, I would recommend. It's about this guy who he's an antiques collector. It's the vlog, it's all like a true story. It's this guy vlogging, but he's an antiques collector, and he goes to this house of this old potter, because the family's invited him there, and he's gone to see if he can like salvage some stuff so he could sell, but this woman was pretty famous, the pots she sold are worth quite a lot of money, and you know, she's got some really cool things, but she was a hoarder, and her house is absolutely trashed. I mean, it's just a hoarder house, you know, you guys know what a hoarder house looks like, and it's like a pretty extreme one as well. And yeah, he goes and decides that there's just so much amazing stuff in the house that he's going to buy it. So he buys the house, and the video series is him clearing it all out and finding out what cool stuff is in it and renovating it, and it's just really fun. I was halfway through taking my makeup off, as you can see, when I watched this video by Hank Green called Let's Talk About the Life Cycle of Waste. It is on Hank's channel, and it is very, very, very good, which is why I had to stop taking my makeup off to tell you about it. Basically, he talks about the difference between recycling like plastic bottles and glass bottles and aluminium cans, and what happens to them afterwards, and why recycling isn't always the best answer, and why we recycle, and what companies should be doing to make this process easier and to reduce plastic, and why we want to reduce plastic. And it's not just about landfills. I'm pretty sure that is everything for this video. Like, subscribe and all that jazz. I think this one is going to be a long one, so I apologise. I have yet to edit it though. New videos every Wednesday. If you have any requests or questions, I'll leave them in the comments. And I'll leave it at that. And see you next time. Do I have any mud on my face? It's a long story.